What's going on, YouTube? Kozak here with Kozak Outdoors, and today we're fishing a whole new, that was weird, a whole new body of water. Whole new body of water. I just launched into what was like a swamp, basically, or like a brook. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't have put a bass boat in here. We'll see if we can get out after. My truck's kind of like, it took a while. It took a lot of turns to get this lined up with the ramp, but I've got a beautiful area in front of me. Looking very froggy, lots of lily pads. I've never fished here before. I think I've already said that. So I'm gonna kind of do a little, try to do a little different type of video today. I've seen other YouTubers doing like raw uncut, so we're gonna try that. We're gonna try to go for about an hour and a half to 2 hours of raw uncut fishing as I try to figure out how to catch fish at this place I've never fished before. I will do some fast forwarding and I will do some fast forwarding during the times where there's just nothing going on, and that way we're not just sitting here for 2 hours if I don't catch much of anything. Supposedly this place is decent. It's very shallow where I'm at right now, so I'm gonna trolling motor out of this area while I get my rods out of the locker, and then we will run this film and see what we can't get into. When I come to a place for the first time, I obviously look at the launch area, see what I'm working with. This place, lots of vegetation, water clarity is probably around 2 to 3 feet from the look of it, a little bit of like a tannic stain to it. Got some current flowing through here. Like I said, I launched into what is essentially a brook. But aside from that, we're gonna get out here and we're gonna catch some bass. I'm on a streak right now. All my videos right now are all out of order because I got this boat, and that'll be spoken of later in another video. But the first thing I did with this boat was I started out pre-fishing for a tournament that I'm fishing this upcoming week. So I'm not releasing that footage until after the tournament. And but that's essentially my first video. It's just everything's out of order right now. But stick with me, stay tuned. I hear bass popping right now. Let's get after it. All right, so 2 things right off the bat. I'm gonna be starting off with a frog. This is a Spro popping frog, maybe a junior, I don't know. And a flick shake. Two of my go-to New England lures right now. There was number one. Missed him though, it was small. Try again, might be big enough to catch. Ooh, okay, that's nice. Oh, it's little, it's tiny, it's probably a yellow perch. So we ain't gonna mess with him anymore. But where there's bait, there's bass. So this general area. There's number one. Caught that on like a mini Carolina rig. Just a little guy, but it's a start. So basically I've got a big point right here, or kind of a steep point. It's not a long point, but it's a short one, real shallow on top, and then it drops off to about 12-ish feet of water. As I was going over it, I noticed some good marks down in like the 12-foot range. So I put down the chatterbait that I was throwing, because that's not going to work great in 12 feet of water. And I picked up the Carolina rig, which is a phenomenal deeper water bait. I like it so much that I actually have I've got two rods rigged up at all times with Carolina rigs. One for kind of that 12 to 6 foot and maybe even shallower range, and then I have a deeper one with a 3/4 weight, and that's for your 12 plus. So we're going out 20 feet, 25 feet, and beyond, depending on the lake, obviously. So that one was on just a little creature bait with a 1/2 ounce weight, and I think there's bigger ones down there. So we're gonna try to reposition and make some more casts on it. I don't know if you can see it in the background, but every now and then there's fish coming up to the surface. It looks like it's raining. I'm not blind. I do know they're there. I'm not casting at them because those are trout. This is a trout lake, a trout pond. It's stocked. And obviously the trout in here are doing very well because I've already seen 100 of them come up to the surface. But usually where there's trout, there's big bass. Little protein snacks. really interesting because I fish a lot of, you probably can't see me on the camera right now. I fish a lot of different lakes and ponds and stuff. And I'll go to one place that has the same clarity as this, and the largemouth just won't touch a drop shot. Yet this pond, same clarity, and like my second cast with it, nice little quality fish, nothing crazy, but it's just strange how different each place can be. That fish came out of about 4 or 5 feet of water on a steep bank. I don't know what these fish are doing. The water temps are 70, which is a lot lower than the other places I've been fishing. So they're definitely post spawn. I just don't know how far into the post spawn. Seems like they're kind of like right after it. I am seeing some small bluegill up shallow though, which is kind of what this drop shot mimics. So we're gonna stay with this for a little bit and see. Yep, another one. Oh, that was another little one. We'll see if we can't catch some slightly better quality fish. But right now we're just kind of getting a feel for this place. I've never been here before. It's very interesting. There's a lot of kind of sandy rock up shallow, but then you go like just off the bank a little bit and it gets really kind of scummy and weedy. It's strange. Usually it's the opposite. Usually up against the bank you've got all your scum and your weeds, and then you come off of it and you get some rocks and stumps and stuff. This is my little secret right here. Don't tell anybody. Chartreuse dye. Chartreuse. Chartreuse dye. Down south in like North Carolina and South Carolina, that area, at least in the largemouth lakes, they don't seem to care about it, from what I've seen. Up here in the north, it makes a difference. larger fish should be a little bit more pushed off the bank if it is just after spawn. But then again, the water temperatures could have been low because the last couple nights it was a little bit cooler than normal, and I think it did rain in this area recently. There's a frogfish right there. Oh no, shore buddy. I love it. I love it. I haven't caught a fish on a frog in a long time. He inhaled it. Ooh, ow. Inhaled it. I'm just skipping it up underneath laydowns. Nice little 2-pounder comes out and just open water. Oh, there's no lily pads over here. There's no vegetation. It's just a kind of bare bank, but it has laydowns. You got shade there. You never know. That's number 3, I think. Yeah, it's 3. Whew, that gets the blood going. That and the caffeine I was just chugging. That's why I love this. That's why I love popping frogs, because they work in so many different conditions. They're not just a standard frog with the, you know, with the kind of V-shaped belly where they just kind of slide through lily pads, which are great at times. I'm not gonna say they're not, like the original Spro frog. But a popping frog, you can use this everywhere. Ooh. Something to note too, whenever you're frog fishing with a frog like this, when that fish hits, you really want to wait a solid 1,000, 2, 1,000 before you set that hook. Everything in you when you first fish with this is going to tell you, when you see that big splash, you just want to go crazy on it. You have to wait about 2 seconds to make sure that fish has the frog in its mouth. You don't want to reel down to it and kind of like feel to see if the fish is there. No, 1,000, 2, 1,000, you should be able to see if your frog's on the surface or not, right? If it's not on the surface, you notice at the hook. But give yourself 1,000, 2, 1,000, and then go to town. Number 4. That one didn't even, I mean, he just sucked it under, which sometimes that's how the big fish will hit it. You really have to pay attention because not every strike with a frog is going to be a huge explosion. Sometimes the bigger fish, not that this is a bigger fish, but sometimes the bigger ones will come up and they'll just kind of slurp it under. So you got to always be paying attention. I really got him. Jeez. There we go. Another little 2-pounder, almost 2 pounds probably. It's got a little belly on him. Once again, up shallow. That one was actually next to a piece of wood, but still, no weeds around. I'm gonna have to order more of these because this is gonna get torn up today. Let's get them back in. All right, sorry for that little skip there. I had to change out the battery. That leaves us, we're right around the 1 hour mark. I'm gonna go for 2 hours since I spent about 30 minutes using my trolling motor to get out of the place where we started, the launch, and then I had to retie, drop shot, and I couldn't find my chartreuse dye. So we're gonna go for about 2 hours total, which is gonna be about an hour and a half of fishing. Right now we're about at the 1 hour mark, so let's just keep going. The way I work this popping frog, you'll see I'm doing kind of like little half turns as I'm popping the top of the rod, the rod tip. And that gives it a walking, kind of a side to side walking the dog motion. While also creating the kind of bloop, bloop, bloop bubbles that this lure can put out. Now you can do big pops with it and it'll push a lot of water, which is good if you're kind of like up in some scum or in some thick lily pads. But fishing this open water, you kind of want to be a little subtle. what you'll probably notice is, well, depending on how fast I put the fast forward on, I'm always looking around, I'm always scanning. I've got polarized sunglasses on. That was a great pronunciation. And I'm always looking, I'm always trying to see, you know, is there a big log over there? Is there beds in this area? Is there no beds in this area? If there's no beds in an area, especially in a backwater like this, it could be a sign that the bass don't come back here. I am seeing beds back here, which is a great sign. And something else I didn't mention at the start, the first thing you want to do before ever going to a new body of water is use Google Maps, use satellite imaging, and if you have a fish finder that actually has a map for that lake, go ahead and look at places you might want to fish before even going there. So what I'm seeing right now is that I'm in about 3 to 4 feet of water in this, what was probably like a separate pond before, and they blew out the pond dam or something. And I've got a lot of coontail coming up to about a foot below the surface. Coontail is a type of vegetation that looks like a raccoon tail, so kind of like a puffy looking thing. And the bass will get in that. They'll use it as cover, ambush points. All right, that's right about at the 2-hour mark, so about an hour and a half of fishing here. I don't know how much content will be here and if I'll ever do this again, if this even is enough to compose a video. If it is, then you're seeing the video now. If not, then this will be rolled into the full day of fishing, because I'm not done for the day yet. Just kind of showing my methodology of how I approach a new lake. We caught a fish in 10 feet of water on the Carolina rig, caught a fish in about 6 to 8 feet of water on a drop shot, and then caught 2 fish up in about 1.5 feet to 2 feet of water on a frog. So the fish are everywhere right now. It's just a matter of finding the better ones and a consistent bite. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Kozak Outdoors. Stay tuned for the next episode where I will be fishing here, but we're gonna kind of go back to the old style where it's not just raw footage. But yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate the views. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Check out my other videos. Great stuff coming along the way. Love you all. Take care. I'm Kozak, and I'm Out.